took his name out of it and looked solely at what has happened, the policies and the things that have changed around the world and in our country over the first 6 months, how do you rate his presidency so far?
I wouldn't give it a good rating,
Why not?
Simply because, the least of us are still being impacted the worst. Like when you look at something like, the big, beautiful bill, that's something that, I'm going to benefit from because of the tax bracket that I'm in. But, there's going to be so many people that's hurt by that bill. And, anything that, takes away Medicaid from people and is going to put people in a worse financial situation than, they were previously in, I'm not for. And, he ran on that. Like he ran on, the economy. He ran on saying that, grocery prices were going to be down and,
That has happened.
No.
Inflation is trending down. And by the way, Medicaid, we want to make sure that people who are not actual recipients or shouldn't be getting Medicaid are off of Medicaid so it can actually benefit more people. There is good stuff in that bill, though. You have the 2017 tax cuts that are made permanent, and that really is for everybody.
For who, though?
But that's for everyone. Everyone in this country is impacted by that. You also have things, by the way, like money going to school choice for parents all across this country. There is a lot of good that I think will come out of the big, beautiful bill. But what about things like...
Right now, people are hurting. And, he campaigned on immediate change, day one change.
And you don't think you felt any change? People aren't feeling change.
No.
Do you feel safer knowing that Iran will not have the ability to develop a nuclear weapon?
Iran?
Yeah.
Sure. I feel safe if you're telling me that a country won't have the ability to build a nuclear weapon.
Do you feel better knowing our borders closed?
Yes.
Okay.
All stories alleged. For gossip and entertainment only. Let's get started.
Hello, gossipers. So we're here to talk Charlemagne da God and Donald Trump. Now, Donald Trump looks like, we know him, right? 47. He's just petty and complain about everything. I haven't heard of any other sitting presidents, Obama, Bush, Clinton, going after people on personal attack levels the way Donald Trump does. And now his latest one is Charlemagne da God. But let me give you a quick update with Diddy. So he said that, he would look into the Diddy verdict and, see if he would pardon him because, the major ones he was found not guilty on. People are still, kind of upset to the fact that the two that he was found guilty on, he should not be serving any time, or if he does, probably, he's already served his time because he's been locked up now for 8 to 9 months because they're saying Cassie and the alleged Jane Doe, who they're saying is 50 Cent's baby mama, they were willing participants. So with that aside, they did ask Donald Trump when he pardoned Diddy. At first, he said he'll take a look at it, and because he does not want someone in jail or in prison on a charge that didn't warrant, whatever the outcome might be. So he was asked about it again, I think it was yesterday or Friday, and now he's saying no, he doesn't think. So he didn't exactly say no 100%. He's just saying no, he doesn't think he will because he heard Diddy, he heard that Diddy said bad stuff about him while he was running for president of the United States. And for him, I'm like, wow. At first you were like, yes, if the sentence don't fit the crime, then, I'll give him a pardon. But now because you're hearing that he spoke badly about you, you're like, oh no, just because of bad treatment or the way he speaks about me or spoke about me, I'm not going to do that. I mean, this man is so petty. He has arguments, like I said, with Charlemagne, then he had it with Rosie O'Donnell, and he had it with Helen DeGeneres, just a bunch of people. And you're like, for a sitting president, who cares? Don't go back and forth with people. That's not your job. And now with Charlemagne da God, he was on Donald Trump's daughter-in-law. Yes, daughter-in-law, Lara Trump. I think she's married to Who's she married to? Is it Eric? I'm not quite sure which of the Trump brothers she's married to, but Charlemagne da God went on her show because they did have her on the Breakfast Club. It was a fun interview. Well, I shouldn't use the word fun, but it was a good interview in the sense that they went back and forth and they stuck to what they believed, right? Of course, she's for Trump, so of course she's gonna, try to speak up for him to say, well, this is why he did this, stuff like that. So it says Trump lashes out at Charlemagne da God over Epstein comments. President Trump railed against a radio host after he said the administration handling of the Jeffrey Epstein case had created an opportunity for traditional conservatives to take back the Republican Party. I think the traditional conservatives are going to take the Republican Party back, Charlemagne said on Fox News program on Saturday, hosted by Lara Trump, the president's daughter-in-law and a former co-chair of the Republican Party. I think there's a political coup, right? No, let's say it again. I think there's a political coup going on right now in the Republican Party that people aren't paying attention to, Charlemagne said. Mr. Trump posted on Truth Social earlier Sunday saying that Charlemagne knows nothing about me or what I have done. Mr. Trump was friendly for nearly 15 years with Mr. Epstein, the disgraced multimillionaire financier and convicted sex offender who died in a Manhattan jail cell in 2019 while awaiting charges on federal tracking charges. Charlemagne, who was born Leonard McKelvey and is best known as the host of the popular radio show The Breakfast Club, said in the interview on Saturday that the episode meant that traditional conservatives could probably take their party back without angering the president's MAGA base. I think they're going to do that, he said. So Donald Trump said, the very wonderful and talented Lara Trump, whose show is a big rating success, put racist sleazebag Charlamagne da God. Why is he allowed to use the word God when describing himself? Can anyone imagine the uproar there would be if I used that nickname? The president posted 2:30 a.m. in the morning. He had the nerve to put that. He said that he's a low IQ individual, has no idea what words are coming out his mouth, and knows nothing about me or what I have done. So he went on to call Charlemagne a dope and, just everything what's expected of Trump when, someone does not agree with him or want to support him in any way. He goes into that. So Charlemagne da God, I know this pissed him off more. He said that he would vote for Jon Stewart if he ran for president in 2018 and have his fellow late night TV host Stephen Colbert as his running mate because because he's not going to have a job. So even though he wants Stewart, which is a real thing, he's just throwing in that Stephen Colbert thing who people are saying got fired from his job because of Donald Trump. So he made that comment 2:30 a.m. in the morning. So I wonder what time he watched. That means he doesn't sleep, right? 2:30. So that means I'm sure it was while he was watching or right after he watched. He came on and said it. So he was up around that time. So he was not sleeping. He needs to get his sleep, right? Donald should get his 8 hours sleep instead of, going on social media and answering back to people who get under him, right? Under his skin. And of course he knows he's going to get attention because he can only respond to people who other people might know. A regular Tom, Dick, and Harry, of course not. There's no, what's the word? There's nothing to be seen if it's a regular person, but do it with a celebrity? Of course. Gossipers, what are your thoughts?